Hello children. Now we are going to discuss about the new topic respiration, the energy producing system. What is respiration? Till now you know that respiration means the process of inhaling air and exhaling carbon dioxide out. Now let us try to find out more about respiration in this chapter. You know, you think that respiration means only inhaling the air? Is it correct? Is that air is enough for the process of respiration? No, it's not enough. When we inhale air, the air, that is oxygen, what we are inhaling is not, we are inhaling a mixture of gas, but only the oxygen is essential for our body. When these oxygen mixes with the food, whatever we eat the food, it is absorbed by the blood. When these oxygen and blood together combine, and then only the energy is released. Then the energy is released along with the carbon dioxide and water. So only oxygen is not sufficient for us, and only the nutrition, whatever the food we are taking, is not enough for the process of respiration. See, when the food we consumed is digested, in the previous lesson we have learned about it, how the absorption of food takes place. Where the absorption of food takes? In the stomach. In the stomach and in the intestine by the welling. So, when the food is get absorbed, means the nutrients which are present in the food are absorbed by the blood, and it is mixes, means the blood when it distributes out the body through the process of transport system. When the blood reaches to the lungs, when the blood reaches to our lungs, that the food plus oxygen, when they combine only, they give energy, and we are exhaling the carbon dioxide again out, and along with the carbon dioxide a little amount of water vapor is also evaporated, is exhaled from our mouth. You know daily 1 liter of water is exhaled from our mouth along with the carbon dioxide. So the food and oxygen, when they combine to give energy, carbon dioxide and water. Before the people, they don't know how the process of respiration takes place, how the process will go. Many scientists work to know more about this. In the previous chapter, you have learned that Lavoisier and Priestley, they did many experiments to know more about respiration. So the word respiration is taken from the Latin word here, respire. The word respire means to breathe. Respire means to breathe. It is taken from the Latin word. So, through the process, when the inhalation, through the process of inhalation, it reaches to the lungs and energy is released, and carbon dioxide also released. The people thought that it is a process of just breathing the air to keep our self, to provide energy, and also they thought that to maintain the body temperature. The air is, means the oxygen is required, the air is required to maintain the body temperature only. Until 18th century, the people don't know how the process of these gases, the properties of gases are important for us. And exchange of gases, how the exchange of gases takes place, how which gases are helpful to us, they don't know. Then Priestley, he did several experiments. We have learned that the oxygen is essential for the life and also for the burning of the candle. In the previous chapter we have learned about it. He did experiment with the cat, candle and plant. In that the plant utilizes carbon dioxide, whereas the candle and rat, it utilizes oxygen. So by that he concluded that the oxygen is essential for it. But he don't know, he didn't name it as oxygen. Later Lavoisier named it as oxygen. Lavoisier also conducted many experiments to know more about the properties of air. For that he did experiment. He kept charcoal, the burning charcoal, under one jar, and while burning some gases are released. He called it as fixed gas. He called that gas as fixed gas. Here the fixed gas is nothing but carbon dioxide. Here the fixed gas is nothing but carbon dioxide. When he burned the charcoal, a gas released. He called it as chalky acid. First he called it as chalky acid. Then the chalky acid, after he called it as fixed air. That is nothing but now we are calling it as carbon dioxide. Under the second jar, he burned the phosphorus. He observed that no chalky acid is released by burning the phosphorus. So here the amount of gas which is produced in the second jar is the air. That is the air what we are using for our breathing, and the water vapor, and that is not the water vapor. If you see while burning, you can see some water vapors. He said that it is not only the water vapor, it is also containing some amount of air that is necessary for us to breathe. So means the air is used up by us, is used by the phosphorus. Whereas in the first state, he said that the chalky acid is released. That is nothing but fixed gas, or that now we are calling it as carbon dioxide. But the air, we are using it, and the remaining air, means whatever the amount of air we are utilizing from the atmosphere, when we exhale, means the used part, means except oxygen, the remaining amount of air from the atmosphere, we call it as vitiated air. He called it as vitiated air. Means except oxygen, means that oxygen is utilized by us. The remaining part of the air is called it as vitiated air. So if you see, when he burned the charcoal, a gas released, it is called chalky acid. That is nothing but fixed air. Whereas in the phosphorus, no chalky acid is produced. For the vitiated air, means for the vitiated air, what should be added and what should be removed to get the air normal? Means for the vitiated air, it does not contain the oxygen. Means here respirable air, that is the oxygen. He called the oxygen it as respirable air. Means here by burning the phosphorus, some amount of air is utilized by it. That is nothing but respirable air. Here the respirable air is removed for the vitiated air. If you make the vitiated air to the normal air, what should be added? He thought that we should add carbon dioxide, that is fixed air, must be removed. Means we should remove the fixed air to get the air normal. So by this he said that some amount of gases are utilized by our body for the process of respiration, and also some amount of gases are released from by the exhalation. That is carbon dioxide. So when we breathe, we are inhaling a mixture of gases, but the oxygen is utilized. Means the oxygen is absorbed by the hemoglobin of the blood. That is the main property of the hemoglobin, to absorb only the oxygen, not the other gases, like many mixture of, here the air is a mixture of gases. It contains many gases. Why not all those gases are utilized by the blood? Means the hemoglobin has a property to absorb only the oxygen. That's why it absorbs the oxygen. When we breathe the mixture of gases, the oxygen is absorbed by the mixture of gases by the blood. Which is why? Because the blood contains the hemoglobin. This hemoglobin helps to absorb the oxygen from the blood, from the lungs, and when we exhale the chalky acid, here the lungs are exchanging. Here in the lungs the gases are exchanging. So the oxygen is absorbed and carbon dioxide, that's a chalky acid, is formed in the lungs. Means the different parts of the blood, they bring carbon dioxide from the cells to the lungs. So here the gases exchange takes place. Then the carbon dioxide is exhaled out. So the chalky acid is produced in the lungs, he said. But by the mid of 19th century, the people came to know about that the air is responsible for the process of respiration and to maintain the body temperature. And they also got some doubts, like why? What is the relationship between the respiration and body temperature? Is there any relationship? Means here our body has a particular temperature. When we breathe, the surrounding air is cool. When it enters into our body, that air also converted into our body temperature when it reaches the nasal cavity. So they get many doubts. And what is the relationship between the inhalation and body temperature? So by this we can say that the process of respiration is the process of inhaling, means we are taking oxygen. Inhalation, when it combines with the food, means that oxygen is supplied to different parts of the body. That is nothing but each and every cell. Each and every cell need this oxygen to produce energy, to perform their various metabolic activities. So, the process of respiration is defined as the process of inhaling food, inhaling oxygen or inhalation to produce energy in the cells. So when we call it as cell, we can say it as cellular respiration. Why? Because each and every cell requires oxygen and food to perform their activities. So in the next class we will learn more about the respiration, where it begins and how the process continues. Thank you, children.